everybody, thanks for joining me today for this at-home workout. This video is going to be split up into 3 different parts. This first piece we're going to do a warm-up all together, and you can do it along with me. It's going to be many movements that we do in the gym. You don't need any equipment, so no foam rollers, lacrosse balls, everything's just your own body weight. Then we're going to do a little bit of mobility stuff included with that as well. The second video, I will go over the workout a little bit more in detail, and we'll actually perform the workout all together. So I will do it with you. I'll even have a timer set up in case you don't have one, and so you can do it along with me. And then the third video will include a cool down, just a few mobility stretches to do after the workout if you have some time. So let's get started first on a warm-up. So the warm-up will take roughly about 7 to 9 minutes or so, just depending. And we'll start with some Spider-Man stretches. So I want you to go ahead and make sure you got a little space around you. You don't need a lot of space, but just some floor space to be able to roll around. But we'll start with some Spider-Man stretches, going into a low lunge, switching about every 1 to 2 seconds or so, trying to keep your back flat and really getting some depth in your hip crease. We're going to be doing either pistols or an alternative version today using lunges or anything you have available to work on one-legged squats. So I'll have you do some Spider-Man stretches here for about 30 seconds or so. And then we're going to move into some hinging. So grab underneath your toes. Stretch out your hamstrings, have your feet in your squat stance, and then we're going to come down into a low squat, just using your arms as an anchor, pulling your chest through. So let's just do this a few times for about 30 seconds or so. Getting those hips nice and warmed up. This is my first little bit of moving today, so I'm a little bit tight. Also just had lunch not too long ago. All right, let's get one more or so, and then we'll move into inchworm out to a push-up. So go ahead and stand tall, reach down towards your toes, walk out, and you can do a push-up here, knee push-up, regular push-up. We are going to do the downward dog one later, so you can just do a regular push-up right now. We'll walk the hands out, push up, walk the hands back in, really get a good stretch through those hamstrings. I'll do a couple here from the side. And again, making sure you're keeping those elbows pointed back as you go down in that push-up. Next, we're going to do Samson lunge. So let's come into our lunge position here. Front shin's vertical, making sure that knee is stacked right over the ankle, not too far forward. Getting a good stretch through your armpits and lats. I almost included burpees in the workout today because I'm on that 10,000 burpee a year challenge, but I didn't include burpees because I know that's one of our favorite ones to do when we're traveling. So not quite burpees today, but we're going to do something really similar. Keep doing Samson lunges here, warming up our one-legged squats. All right, let's do about 30 seconds of air squats. Got to check my timer here going on. And go and just kind of use this time to find your depth, however fast or slow you want to go. It's up to you. You can even hold down your bottom of your squat if you'd like. It's kind of feeling out your depth. All right, let's get in one more. And then we're going to move on to push up into down dog. So come into your downward dog position, hips piked up nice and high. Getting a good stretch to the back of your hamstrings, pushing your heels to the floor. And then we'll come and swoop down, forehead, nose, chin, chest, up to our upward dog. And then we'll pike the hips back, pressing our nose towards the toes. A good stretch through the chest here. Might want to spend some time pedaling your feet out. Back to upward dog. Let's get one more. All right, we're going to do some wide-legged Cossack squats. So we'll take the legs extra wide, about twice your squat width. And we'll just send the hips back, making sure you're staying through the heels, trying to keep your chest tall. Just getting a nice little stretch to the inner thighs, getting all different sides of our legs for the stretch so we can, if you're gonna do pistols today, really getting your legs warmed up. To be honest, I do not work out at home very often, so this is one of those very few times where I'm gonna do something, and this helps keep me accountable just doing this video here. So hopefully me doing along with you helps to keep you a bit accountable for getting your workout in as well. Okay, so let's move on to a couple of different things on the floor just to work on mobility. So we're gonna do a tabletop stretch to get the front of our chest opened up here. So you're gonna bring your hands behind you, fingers facing forward. Bring your feet, relatively a few inches away from your hips. And we're going to drive our hips and our shoulders up, come into a tabletop for a second, and then come back down. This is really great stretch to the front of the chest. Starts to get our back sides of our glutes opened up a little bit more. Not quite a low glute bridge, but a little bit more of a upper body opener as well. So let's do a few of these. Wiggle around side to side, or stay up tall. You don't have to follow exactly me. Whatever speed you want to go is fine. Okay, laying on the floor. Let's get some, we call these iron cross. So you're gonna find yourself a spot on the floor, hands out in a T, and we'll start by swinging one leg across to the other side, bring it back down, leg to the other side, bring back down. Let's get a little bit twist through our hips here. All right, we're gonna throw in some roly-polies for hamstrings. So you're gonna tuck your knees. We'll go straight forward, reach for the toes, roll back, tuck your knees. This is gonna be a precursor to our inverted candlestick burpee. I won't call them burpees, I'll call them candlesticks. But it's kind of the reverse of it, where you're not gonna be on your chest, but you're gonna be rolling on your back. Let's do some wide straddles now. Go wide, stretch forward. Hamstrings, getting these stretched out, are also really good for pistols, so you can keep your leg off the ground as you're going down to your squat. Okay, and then from here, let's try to roll up into a squat. So use a little bit more extra momentum. See if you can just get yourself up to your feet and then come up into a squat. So let's do our best. I'm gonna go for 8 of them. So roll up into a squat, back down 8 times. So tuck your knees in, roll. See if you can stand up to your squat. Then set yourself back down, roll, come up into your squat. See if you can do it without touching your hands to the floor. That might be tough, but give it your best shot. If you want to, you can also try doing a pistol version as well if you have experience with pistols and want to do the one-legged version. If not, you can stick with the regular squat. So I'm going to throw in a couple on each side here. Come back down, come up one leg, or just stay with regular squats. Okay, so let's do a couple other small mobility things quick. Let's come down to an ankle stretch. So for pistols, usually requires a lot of ankle mobility to be able to lean over your thighs. So we're gonna come down to a lunge, take your forearm and chest, drive it into the top of your thigh, keep your heel grounded on the floor, and we'll stay down here for about 30 seconds or so on this side before we switch. Get some time to catch your breath if you're a little out of breath already from the warm-up, which I kind of am. Usually I have to catch my breath a bit, and then once the actual workout starts, I'm like ready to go. All right, so let's go ahead and switch sides. So lunging in, leaning the weight of your forearm and chest into your thigh, trying to drive your knee as far forward as you're able to in front of your toes. Just getting some good, nice depth through the crease of your ankle here, maybe a big stretch to the back of your calf. All right, and the last thing we're gonna do is we're gonna do a pigeon stretch all together. So go ahead and lay down the side of your leg, start tall. Then you can kind of walk your hands down, get a good pigeon stretch. We'll hold each side for about 30 seconds. And as you're down here, I don't know if you can see me, I don't know where the camera's exactly angled, but whatever leg you have in front, so if your left leg is in front, if you want to get the extra stretch, you can take your opposite arm. So as you're down at the bottom, reaching across with that arm, getting a good lat stretch here to the back side of your thighs. Staying long through your back. Trying to keep your hips squared off. I know sometimes they tend to turn out to the side, so try to keep them squared off as best you can. And let's go ahead and switch sides. So let's come, bring that other shin either parallel or foot slightly tucked in. I can never get mine straight across. Start tall, fold down, leading first with the chest, keeping your shoulder blades slightly tucked back, coming down to your forearms, and then if you want to reach the opposite arm across, and get a stretch there through the underside of your lats. Oh, my lats are sore from pull-ups the other day still. So we got a nice deep stretch here. Remember, you keep breathing through, inhale, exhale, so hold your breath down to the bottom. Keep breathing. And then we'll go ahead and come up. So this concludes the first video. So I'm going to go ahead and explain the workout of the day in the next video, as well as do the workout along with you with the timer.